They're pushing me! They're pushing me! His driver and firemen were feeling him all over to see if he was hurt. Answered, yes, it will. Yes, it will. Then, with 2 cranes, they put James back on the rails. But you must learn by your mistakes. James knew what Sir Tom... I'm really a splendid engine, he thought. Next morning, he spoke severely to James. If you can't behave, I shall take away your red coat and have you painted blue. James didn't like that. Gordon never has to fetch his own coaches, he thought to himself, and he's only painted blue. Most likely, you've banged the coaches enough to make a... miserable. Oh, dear. I wonder how long I shall have to stay in the shed. Will anyone ever see my red coat again? Why did I go so fast that I made a hole in one of my coaches that had to be mended with, of all things, a passenger's bootlace? At last, Sir Topham Hatt arrived. I know you're sorry, James, and I know, too, that you want to be a useful engine. People are laughing at my railway, and I do not like that at all. I will try hard to do my best, said James. Sir? James took no notice and started as soon as the conductor was ready. Come along, panted. Will the top never come? I've done it, hooray, it's easy now. But his driver shut off steam. They've done it again, we've left our... That's why it was easy, said James as he backed the others hard as he could. James was resting in the yard when... After that performance, you deserve to keep your red coat. I wish I were going with you, said James. I should love to pull the express. Hello, Gordon. Is it tomorrow? Perhaps it was instinct. Gordon can't do it. Will you pull it for us, James? Yes, sir. I'll try. I was very impressed. Well, yes, please, answered James. No fear, chuckled James. I'm not... Balanced the table. It could now swing easily. Sir, said the 3 engines. We will. Rubbish, Henry, snorted James. You don't work hard enough. I'm a splendid engine, answered James, ready for anything. You never see my paint dirty. I've got to stop, groaned James. Lark, he chuckled to himself. You, I can't stop. James, you can rest and then take your train. It'll be lovely not to... Ah, thought James. Sir Topham Hatt knows I'm a fine engine. He wants me to... Sir Topham Hatt told me to stay here. He sent a message this morning. Oh, said James. Oh, where's Percy? It's you out of the way, grunted James. Had spoken of backing signals, put in James. They need extra special, said James. Any engine could do it. If you worked more and chattered less, this yard would be a sweeter, a better, and a happier place. We'll have some fun and order him about. Disgusting, put in James. Held up at the station, and the viaduct made it worse. Cars are playing tricks. The van's breaking. Ooh, put in James. Good riddance, that's what I say. Engine. Everyone knows it. I'm as regularly on time. That's me. The news. I'm going to be late. What, me? Snorted James. Me? Push Toby and pull my... Think James couldn't pull it on his own, so Toby had to help, said James. Added James. If Gordon wasn't here now, I'd say it was him. Don't need help on hills, replied James huffily. Slipped on the leaves. He couldn't pull the train at all. Help! Help! Whistled James. His wheels were turning forward, but the heavy coaches pulled him backwards. Look at me. I am the smartest... What? Replied James. And the pride of the line. I pull coaches, too. Sir Topham Hatt has plans for me. James was only making this up, but Gordon believed him. Wait and see. Are those coaches for me? Asked James hopefully. But James was going to play a trick on the other engines. Actually, Thomas, I'm taking the coaches. Sir Topham Hatt asked me to tell you. Give them to Gordon. Meanwhile, James was enjoying himself enormously. What a clever plan! What a clever plan! He chuffed. I'm sorry I tricked you, said James. Are these my... He whispered to James. This gentleman is a... What a good idea, agreed James. You look as bright and cheerful as my red paint. What's that noise? James didn't like being told what to do by a diesel. Are you afraid of bees? They're only insects after all, so don't let that buzzbox diesel tell you different. I wouldn't care if hundreds were swarming around. I'd just blow smoke and make them buzz. It's a pity it's not Christmas. Then we could call you James the Red-Nosed Engine. Even James. But instead, they decided to call James the Bee's Knees, which means they thought he was more useful than ever. Sir Topham Hatt will have to know, said James. What are you doing here, Percy? You should be at the station by now. That's no excuse, Percy. Nothing should stop us. Sir Topham Hatt relies on us to be on time. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be on... Really reliable. That's me, panted James. Pity the same... Be quiet. It's not funny having jammed brakes. James angrily...
Teach me how to stay on the rails. You poor engine, sympathized James. I know all about diesels. One crept into... I soon sent him packing. Engines like me. A fill of oil. He'll choose me, of course, boasted James.
I deserve a new coat of paint. The Fat Controller says I'm the pride of the line and... Rub the not, retorted James. Important engine. You know how much you... Ah! Laughed James. If I came upon a tree, I'd just push it aside. Controller. But, sir, I've just been repainted. Can't Thomas or Percy do it? They're dirty and like working with... Away from the tree, but his train... When he heard a whistle. James felt embarrassed and worried that Thomas... Percy and Terence were right to warn me, he said. Thank you for rescuing me of paint. And James, the Fat Controller, says that tomorrow you'll pull the special...
Percy or Oliver should do it. I'm too important. James. Sir Topham had his ordered station instead. Something... You were quite right, Thomas, James whispered. Making someone... Then together they...
Feeling a little blue, which isn't so haughty, and Sir Topham Hatt told me to think about what should have collected Mr. Leave it to the big engines, Percy. Oh, still itchy. Tired. Is it because I'm good? Okay, Mr. C, keep your steam up. It's not sunny because Mr. C's not at the windmill. I lost. Spray it, Thomas. What are we gonna...
Taking vacationers on rides around the island is our job, wheezed James. What if the hot air balloon takes our passengers away? Chuffed James. What will happen to us then? Groaned James. Now it's sure to take our passengers. Rails are better than hot air any day. Passengers will ride in the hot air balloon. You're right, James. James was delighted. He sees the red balloon, he whistles and toots. And sometimes when he's asleep at night, James dreams he can fly too. Ha ha! It's Pokey Percy, James laughed. Ha! Said James, thinking no one could hear. I could handle those diesels with bent buffers and a busted boiler. Just get my freight cars ready and stay out of my way, huffed James. James cheerfully backed up to his freight cars. But he was wrong. Percy laughed. You're a pouty puffer, Percy, teased James. Speed isn't everything, said James smugly. Still full of hot air, whistled James. He's sorry he teased you, puffed James.
He is proud of his shiny red paint. Keep your dirt away from me. I'm collecting the mayor today. James, you'd need a washdown first. Just laughed. Soon, James had collected the mayor and puffed proudly away. Just look at me, Gordon! Very important work, exclaimed James. I'll do it. Thank you, sir, said James. Here to collect the Queen of Sodor, announced James. James was furious. That slimy old tub? Gordon tricked me. He... Shiny and clean, he declared. I have to stay clean, boasted James, in case there's important... Dust went everywhere, snorted James. It will make me readier than ever. I'm such a... This is Spencer. He's the fastest and... That's far away over Gordon's Hill. Too much puff and not enough steam. James was in the workshop being repainted. He was beside himself with joy. James thought being repainted meant he was special. The workmen painted and polished for hour upon hour. Then, with new paint shining, brass twinkling, and blacking black, James returned to Tidmouth's sheds and fell happily asleep. "Yes, sir," said James, and he set off at once. But James didn't go straight to the coal plant. He decided to go by the canal instead. Then he could see himself in the water for yard after yard after yard. Magnificent, he puffed. James had forgotten what Sir Topham Hatt had, still enjoying himself. But there was no one around to share. "Bother," said James. He was disappointed, and he left the station. "Look at me," he puffed. "Don't I look fine? Docks." James was delighted. The docks were always bustling with engines and people. "It's the place to be seen," he said. And left on James was his face. James knew he should have listened. He didn't feel splendid anymore. But for the first time all day, James feeling foolish, even James had to smile. James was overjoyed. Thomas wasn't happy. James steamed proudly across the countryside. "Brightest and best, brightest and best," he hummed happily to himself. He was having a wonderful day. When James arrived at the depot, he was very excited. Steamed along. He was thinking about the fireworks. He was imagining all the spark. James was upset. James was cross. "You said I wasn't useful," he pouted. James didn't want the children to be sad, so he agreed. "Go faster, Thomas! Gordon must be taking the children back," cried James. "We're here!" they cried, and sounded their whistles as loudly as they could. But no one could. "Good work, Thomas!" cried James happily. That night, Thomas and James watched the fireworks together. "I think we are both useful engines," said James proudly. Percy and James were pleased. Maybe they'd get to pull the circus after all. "If you want to uncouple some freight cars," he said hopefully, "I could take them for you." James took the performance. "I was here first," grumbled James. "Why do I have to wait?" "Everyone has a more important job than me," grumbled James. "You can rely on me, sir," said James proudly. James was excited. "An important job," he said happily. "Nonsense," snorted James. "I am going to keep the past important job to do." "Wait your turn, bossy boiler," said Thomas. Harder. He went faster and faster, and then he began to feel hotter and hotter. "Please push me to the water tank," pleaded James. "In a hurry," protested James. "Mine is the most important job on the island." To tease him, but then he remembered what Salty had said. No job is more important than helping another. "I'm sorry, sir," said James. "I put my own job first." "And you delivered your coal on time." James nearly burst with pride. "Thank you, sir," he said. Being really useful was better than feeling important. "Your freight cars may be nice and new now," huffed James, "but you'll never keep yours as clean as mine." "I've got my stone already," boasted James, "and not a spot of quarry dust on me." "See? I have got the cleanest freight cars. You'll be here for hours getting yours cleaned," laughed James. Tried to pull away, but his troublesome trucks didn't want it. Just then, Cranky's...
¿Te enteraste de la inauguración del nuevo museo? Resopló James. Nos pintarán a todos. Estaré maravilloso con una nueva capa de pintura roja.
He was dreaming about the presents train. James' wheels began to slip and slide. "Whoa!" he cried. He was going faster and faster. "Yippee!" called James. He was starting to enjoy himself. James wanted to take the presents train more than ever. Just a blue engine to be late. Slow engines like you don't get to pull the presents train, snorted James. Must be first, he puffed. Whee! Cried James. I am taking care, replied James. Taking care to finish first. I'm going to pull the presents train. And James pulled out. Finish first, James puffed happily. He started to go faster and faster and faster. His wheels started to slip and slide. Oh my, cried James. And he applied his brakes as hard as he could. Whoa! And now James slowed down. Thank you, Edward, said James. You are a real... Last year, James had pulled the Sodor team. His passenger cars had been decorated with ribbons and flags. Everyone had cheered. Finished all his jobs first. And I'm pulling them again this year, snorted James and Clarabelle, and he took the children to the siding. They had a wonderful time. They decorated James with their scarves and flags. He looked splendid. I look even better than last year, puffed James proudly. James thought that was a grand idea. But only if you get to the yard first, he teased. I've got an important job to do later. I'm taking some children to a concert. Oh, snorted James. I can do more jobs in one day than you can. I'm really useful. You're on. All the engines were very excited. James was sure his photograph would be taken. I will look wonderful on the poster, thought James. But James couldn't believe it. He was sure a red engine would be just the thing for the poster. I wonder why Edward was chosen. James was cross. I can do all those things too, pouted James. See, I can be gentle just like Edward, puffed James. James wanted to be as good as... So James puffed onto Gordon's line. Then he raced across the countryside. James rattled over bridges and clattered through tunnels. He really wanted to get in front of Edward. James applied his brakes and screeched to a halt. And look at James. He's pushing. He was so proud it made his boiler bubble. He felt more useful than he had ever felt before. James is a shiny red engine. He always likes to look his best. I hope I get an important job today, wished James. I'm the perfect engine for that job, sir, James whistled. James was delighted. He couldn't wait to make a grand entrance. Me? Snorted James. I can't help. It's much more important for me to look really smart when I arrive with my important passenger. James was being polished until he shone. Don't forget to buff my buffers, he tooted happily. Thomas puffed up with a long line of coal cars. Cling, clang, they giggled. Those trucks look troublesome, lad. Need to have some special flags fitted, sniffed James. James felt terrible. I must help my friends. Otherwise, they won't be here to see me be the star of the show. You're not, puffed James, because I'm going to help you. James buffered up, and he helped.
Given a special. No, I will, whistled James. James's cheeks were as red as his paintwork. I'll win on the way back to Tidmouth. James smiled. He liked that job. Now he didn't mind losing the race. James huffed up. He's called Stanley. He's very friendly. Everyone likes him. He's doing your jobs very well. Thomas doesn't like Stanley, snorted James. That's why he shunted too many freight cars for him. James was worried. Have any of you seen Thomas?
James is a bright red engine. He always likes to look his best. Oh, that was nothing, See how easily I can shunt heavy Hector. I'll decide what we do. The weather doesn't bother me. James sniffed. He didn't want to be told what to do by a freight car, especially in front of Harold. I'll decide what we do. We'll take the track through Shen Valley. It's the quickest way. James didn't want to be told what to do by a freight car, especially in front of Edward. I'll decide what we do. I can manage on my own. His face was now as red as his... He was very pleased. Now I can puff fast down the other side, he thought. But James didn't want to be told what to do, especially by a freight car. I'll decide what we do, he huffed to himself. Couldn't make his delivery. He felt very bad. Quiet! Please, Hector, how can I deliver my train on time? I wasn't worried. Hector helped me all the way. You can always rely on a good freight help. And James was happy to have a new friend.